What's going on, everybody? I am
the Raging Pro Leader.
So who am I? Who's this nutjob with the avatar and the background? Well, that's a video for another time. What I'm here for today is to impart some knowledge I hope gets shared around before Easter this year. Because you see, Easter is that time of year when people like to buy bunnies for their kids or for their significant other or something, without realizing just how totally different it is owning bunnies. And then the poor little things end up getting returned, or worse, released into the wild. Don't do that. Domestic bunnies don't have any wild bunny survival instincts. They will not survive. So you see, this is what compels me to make this video. My wife and I have been bunny parents for about 5 years, and we want to share our experiences owning our tiny jerks and to help spread the word so more Easter tragedies do not get repeated. That said, what I'm about to share here is not a be-all, end-all list of facts you need to take as gospel, so please be sure to do your research on your own. I adopted our babies, Zenith and Quasar, in December of 2018. I had a job at the time that required a lot of travel, so I wanted to get something for her to help keep her company when I was gone for 4 to 5 days at a time. We didn't quite have the space for dogs we would have loved to have gotten, and I'm allergic to cats, for which she will never forgive me. However, we've always both thought that bunnies were adorable, and the way that their noses wiggle up and down we always thought was very endearing.
Oh, geez, baby.
And they didn't count towards the pet deposit at our place. So, after a discussion, we got our children. And it's been quite the learning experience for both of us ever since. And we would like to impart our wisdom onto you. First and foremost, understand this. They are prey animals. Meaning, they're on the bottom of the food chain out in the wild. So, they're a bit flighty and reactive as such. That said, they may not be as cuddly as you would hope, like a cat or a dog. From what I'm told, bunnies don't really change their temperaments after a certain point in their growth. So if you get a bunny when they're young, though, that might be different. In our case, though, we adopted them when they were already a couple of years old, so we missed that window. And they don't like being petted or held. Another interesting fact. You know how cats will rub the sides of their faces against something? They have scent glands in their cheeks that they use to claim something as theirs. Well, bunnies do that same thing, but with their chins. Observe. See, bunnies are territorial, so this is their way of claiming territory and their stuff, their things. This mine, this mine, this mine. They're a diurnal animal too, so they're active at dawn and at dusk. Bunnies are social animals too, so they need to bond with someone or something. You could be the one to bond with it, but if you're away for work or school or something, there's a good chance they may be more destructive because they're stressed or depressed. Therefore, what the fuck is wrong with you? Come on. Therefore, it might be wise to get a second bunny to create a bonded pair. Now, the number one thing on the subject of their behavior I need you to know.
Bunnies chew.
It's an inseparable part of their nature. The thing is, their teeth never stop growing. Therefore, they need to chew on things to kind of whittle them down. Kind of like how cats will scratch on things. And therefore, they may have no regard whatsoever for your things. Oh, that's a nice HDMI cable you have there, Papa. Wouldn't it be a shame if someone...
Shoot it.
Oh, that's a nice $100 LL Bean blanket you have there, Mama. Wouldn't it be a shame if you went into the kitchen for a minute and then I hopped on the couch and...
Shoot it.
Oh, that's a nice leather glove that you got there that fell off the hutch there, Papa. Wouldn't it be a shame if somebody...
Shoot it.
You get the point, I hope. They're like the ocean. Never turn your back on them. One of their favorite things to chew on is cardboard. So, you can buy them toys, and you ought to, like their favorite little bell rattle. But, like cats, they also may prefer to play with the box instead. Obviously, don't only let them eat cardboard, or rip up paper bags, but they're a good distraction from chewing on your things. You could also get them toys made of willow sticks, like my baby girl's little tent. Just know that it won't last forever, they will whittle it down and eat it. Their claws don't stop growing either, so it's up to you. Damn it. You. To trim them, and trim them properly. Do not cut them to the quick. You'll need a special tool for trimming them, and honestly, good luck doing it when your bunny doesn't like to be held. I mean that. Really. Don't hurt your bunny. Now, one other thing you might have to deal with are the reactions you get from others. Your mileage certainly may vary from mine, but, Odin, damn it. You have no idea how many unfunny douchebags would give me crap like, "Oh, I love to eat rabbits," or, "It's good food." What are their names? Lunch and dinner? Fuck off! Yeah, what are your kids' names? Debt and failure? Or if you were in a construction field like I used to be before my spine exploded, you'd get stuff like, why didn't you get a manly pet? Like a St. Bernard or a Wolverine or a honey badger or something. And then more unfunny stuff about eating them. I finally had enough one day, and I asked the guy if I could kill and eat his children. Well, he didn't like that. Well, what do you know? That's how it feels, you son of a... So seriously, be ready for that. If you've got anger issues like I do, it's tough to rein it in when idiots will immediately disregard your emotional attachment to your pets and regard them as food or some stupid shit and think that's funny.
Anyway,
they are a quiet pet. They don't really make too much noise except for when they're thumping. When scared or upset or trying to alert other bunnies of potential danger, they'll thump their feet on the ground. And it's not like Thumper from Bambi where it's this rapid fire set of thumps. Like, no, it's just one big, quick, hard thump. So if you suddenly hear a huge bump in the night, that's your bunny. Maybe they thought they saw something, or they, and this actually happens, they have a bad dream and it scares them and it spooks them out and they wake up and thump. Or you've just got a plain old drama queen for a bunny. Another thing to note, they shed. Oh, holy hell do they shed. So if you have this quirk where you see like their little tufties on their coats and it compels you to want to pluck them out or brush them, just hope you've got a bunny who doesn't mind the brushing. That said, they're also very clean animals. They bathe themselves regularly, so there's no need for you to give them baths. And on that note, for God's sakes, do not submerge your bunnies in water. The shock alone could kill them. Bunnies are not like cats and dogs when it comes to seeing to their health. See, above all, you need to find a veterinarian who specializes in rabbit care. They are considered an exotic pet because anything that's not a cat or a dog is considered exotic. So, finding specialized care for them is very important. There are things you need to know to be aware of when it comes to your bunny's feeding habits. Like I mentioned, they are prey animals and therefore will not show you any signs if they are in pain or sick. Think of it as like an animalistic survival instinct. Which animals are the first to fall prey to predators? The sick and the weak. So, it's up to you to stay vigilant over your bunny's behavior. So, if they've stopped eating, then it could be a sign of GI stasis, something that needs to be taken care of right away. Stress is also a factor in GI stasis, so be sure to keep them in a stress-free environment. Loud noises, unruly children, other unfamiliar animals, or changes environment, yes, even like moving houses can stress out your rabbit. One other big thing to consider for your bunny's health is to have them spayed or neutered. Besides it being beneficial for their overall longevity, bunnies do reproduce quickly and in vast numbers. And on a pretty harsh and somber note about that, it doesn't matter how young or old they are, your bunny can die on the table. Bunnies are very fragile and don't take anesthesia very well. My wife tells me she's read sad stories about people bringing their bunnies in for operations, but they didn't make it. This is another reason why it's so important for you to find a veterinarian who specializes in rabbits. They may be more well equipped to handle this sort of surgery. Now, let's talk about their food. First, let's get this out of the way. Thanks to Bugs Bunny, we all have grown up to think that bunnies are all about carrots.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
No, carrots are more for an occasional treat, not as a regular part of their diet. What we do is give them green leaf and romaine lettuce, not iceberg lettuce. It's basically like flavored water or something, and it doesn't give them the proper nutrients that they need. For their dinner, we give them their pellets. For their treats, they do like parsley, dill, and cilantro. They also love bananas and apples, and when we have them, that's when they suddenly become affectionate and hop onto our laps. And once they're gone, though, poof, they're gone too. Little jerks. And like everything else on the planet, they need water. We give ours distilled water. Bunnies can sometimes deal with having a sludgy bladder or urine if there are too many minerals in the water that they drink. Hence, why we give them distilled water. It's not a hard requirement by any means, but they drink it all the same. Although, what is a hard requirement for them is a constant supply of hay at the ready. They require Timothy hay as adults, maybe alfalfa as a senior. I'm not 100% sure yet, we haven't gotten to that point. But hay is not only essential to their diet, it also helps maintain their teeth, which, like their claws, never stop growing. So you'll have to have a feeder at the ready for them. For us, we got this plastic container. We drilled out these holes for them to reach into and eat, and using some twine and some carabiners, we hang it over to the litter box in their pen. And yes, litter box. They can be litter trained. Ours already were when we got them, so I'm not for sure exactly how one would go about litter training them. But on that note, be prepared for poopies everywhere. How do you explain this, mister? Huh? I just replaced your litter, and there's already poopies on the floor. Why you do this? Or is it you, my naughty, wicked, bad, evil Zoot? I mean Quasar.
Poop again!
At least they don't stink. So, about their hay. You could get a bag like this weekly, or, for more bang for your buck, you could buy these compressed bales of Timothy hay and keep them in storage bins in your garage, and then just fill that bag up when needed. Just be prepared for some spillage. It'll happen. Hay gets everywhere. It's like sand. And one big thing to consider, I hope you're not allergic to hay. If so, be prepared to itch and to sneeze like there's no tomorrow. I apparently developed an allergy to their hay after a few years, so I have to guard myself whenever I fill up their hay bags.
Alright, there. Now I can feed the bunnies.
So, consider everything. Having storage for their hay, their pellets, their litter, and the things that requires. Litter itself, the litter box, a vacuum built for pet hair, cleaning spray, broom and dustpan, a separate trash can for their litter. Getting them greens, having hay always ready for them, keeping their claws trimmed appropriately, keeping an eye on their eating habits and temperament, having a system or systems to keep them out of rooms you don't want them going into, not turning your back on them like the ocean because of potential chewing, dealing with unfunny douchebags who talk about them like they're food and not your pets, having a pen for them so they have a place to go and feel secure, dealing with shedding, dealing with poopies getting everywhere, dealing with cardboard shreds everywhere, making sure they have a suitable environment, most importantly, making sure they have specialized veterinary care, and all the costs associated with all of these things. Am I discouraging you from getting a bunny? In a way, yes. I don't want you to go in blind thinking that a bunny will be as comparatively simple as taking care of a cat or a dog. I want you to make an informed decision about what you're getting yourself into. But don't worry, it's not like all chores and hardship. They do have perks, yes. They're flippin' adorable, without a doubt. They can be funny to look at when they cuddle, clearly having no concept of personal space. Ours sometimes run in circles around us before we give them their dinner or their breakfast. And it always brings a smile to our faces when we see them do binkies and zoomies. They can just be outright silly sometimes too. Bunnies can be cuddly and affectionate, but we don't really get to experience it ourselves because, like I said earlier, we got them when they were a bit older, so that window had passed. So when the wife and I see videos of other people who have such loving bunnies, it's not fair. Still, there's always the element of how pets can add value to your life through companionship. They can enrich your quality of life just like a dog or a cat or any other pet could. Despite everything I've mentioned, we do love our little jerks. And they definitely have made life more interesting since we've gotten them. I'm really trying to list more perks than that, but that's honestly been our experience these last 5 years. Again, your mileage may vary. So if there's any additional info out there that you bunny parents may have, be sure to add it. So let's get the word out before Easter this year and hopefully save some bunny lives. And, well, I guess this is the part of the video where everybody's like,
Okay, guys. Well, that's it for the video. Be sure to smash that like button and share and subscribe and follow me on all my socials and click that little bell icon so you get notified when a new video goes live. And I have this frickin' GIF right here playing. Also be sure to support me on Patreon and Subscribestar and buy my Teespring.
No! Who am I to tell you what to do? Well, I am
The Raging Pro Leader.
Peace.
Bit of a personal question, Terry. But yes, I'm highly seeded. We have 2 lovely children, Zenith and Quasar.
Jesus, man, I thought this would be easier using this avatar to record this stuff. Well, it's far different than making a video than it is for just when I'm streaming. Jeez. Oh, look, now you're making the finger gesture that I needed you to. God. You could also get them... You could also... Why are you doing that? I'm not frowning! Do the face! You could also get the... Damn! You could also get them toys made of willow sticks, just like my baby girl... I'm smiling! I'm not frowning! Fuck! This is why I'm the Raging Bro Leader.